Hello students, today we are going to start with next chapter, heat and energy. So before starting with the main topics, let us talk about the concept of heat. So from our common experience, we might have observed when we rub our hands, when we rub our hands with each other, or when current passes through a wire, or when electric current passes through a wire, or on burning coal, or on burning coal. What we observe is, in all these things, heat is produced. Means when we rub our hands with each other, then due to mechanical work, or then due to work done. So due to work done, or we can say that due to mechanical work, heat energy is produced. Here, so when current is passed through a wire, then due to electricity, then due to electricity, or then due to electrical energy, heat is produced. And similarly, on burning coal, due to chemical reactions. So chemical energy leads to the production of heat. So this is the reason of the things. So all these things leads to the generation of heat. So based upon all these things, we can say that heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy. Or we have seen that, or we already know that the material or every body is made up of molecules, and those molecules are always in random motion, and they always exert some force of attraction on other molecules. Means let us say that I am talking about some body, and this body is made up of molecules. Then the molecules are always in some random motion. They are always in some random motion. They keep on moving like this, and due to this random motion, they have two things. They have potential energy and kinetic energy. So due to their position, they possess the potential energy, and due to the motion, they possess the kinetic energy. Means the molecules keep on moving randomly, or they keep on striking also with each other, and they exert force of attraction with the other molecules. So due to this force of attraction between other molecules, they have potential energy, and due to the motion, they have the kinetic energy, and the sum of this, both of these, is called as a internal energy. So means molecules possess energy they have internal energy. So due to random motion of molecules, and their motion leads to the kinetic energy, and their position leads to the kinetic energy. And so the sum of these two energies is called as a internal energy. So means this energy is called as the heat energy. So this internal energy is the heat energy of the molecules or of the body. Now we have also seen that when some hot body is kept in contact with the cold body, means let us say that this is a hot body and this is a cold body. So when these are kept in contact with each other, then what we see is this hot body cools down, and this cold body gets heated up. So the heat energy starts flowing from one to another, and we say that the heat energy flows from hot body towards a cold body. So the heat energy flows from the hot body to cold body. So this leads to this hot body will become cold, and this cold body will become warmer. So this is what happens if we touch some hot body. Let us say that if we touch some hot body, let us say that this is hot body, and if someone touches this, So if I touch this, then this body will feel hot because the heat energy will flow from this hot body towards the hand, we will say now. And if I touch some ice piece, let us say that this is ice, or I am saying that this is cold body, then if we touch this, then what will happen is I will feel cold because this body in this situation, this body is hot and this body is at cold, so the heat energy will flow from here to here. So means if hot heat energy flows from one body to another, then this body will feel cold, means the body that is losing heat energy will become cold, and that is gaining heat energy, so we will feel hot. So this is the example of the flow of heat energy. So that's what we can say is heat energy. So heat is the internal energy of molecules constituting the body. And it flows from hot body to cold body. Now since we are talking about some quantity, then we will talk about its unit. So unit of heat is, since it is the form of energy, so unit of energy is joule. So its SI unit is joule, or we simply represent it by capital J. So also 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to power 7 ergs. So this is its CGS unit. So CGS unit is erg. Some other units of energy are also there, means that is calorie. So calorie, and it's written as CAL. So here 1 calorie is equal to, in joules, that is equal to 4.186 joule. This is very important relation that we should remember, or sometimes we say that 1 calorie equal to, or approximately equal to 4.2 joule. 4.2 joule. Now how to measure this? So then, to measure the degree of hotness, we use temperature. So temperature is a quantity which tells us about the state of body. State of body means it tells us about the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Or it also determines the direction of flow of heat. So it determines the direction of flow of heat when two bodies are brought in contact. So also it tells us, you can say that it tells the direction of flow of heat when two bodies are placed in contact with each other. Or if there is no transfer of heat from one body to another, then we will say that both the bodies are at same temperature. So now the unit used for the SI unit of temperature, SI unit is Kelvin. And to represent this, we write it as capital K. Other units that are used are degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. These are also used, but SI unit is Kelvin. Now the relationship between Kelvin and degree Celsius is, so 1 Kelvin or T Kelvins we will say now. So T Kelvin is equal to 273 plus T degree Celsius. So T degree Celsius. So means if temperature is given in Celsius, then to change that into Kelvin we add 273. Let us say that, example, I am saying that temperature is 27 degree Celsius. Then temperature in Kelvin. So temperature in Kelvin will be equal to 273 plus 27. So that will be equal to 300 Kelvin. So in this way we can convert Celsius into Kelvins. Now we know that the ice point is 0 degree Celsius. The ice point is 0 degree Celsius. Is 0 degree Celsius, or it is also 32 degree Fahrenheit on Fahrenheit scale and 273 on Kelvin scale. And the steam point is 100 degree Celsius on Celsius scale. It is 212 degree Fahrenheit on Fahrenheit scale and 373 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. So here look at the difference between the two. So the difference between the steam point and the ice point in the case of Celsius scale is 100 degrees. And also in the case of Kelvin scale, the difference is 100 degrees. Whereas in the case of Fahrenheit scale, the difference is 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So this difference tells us about the scale used. So here in this scale of Celsius scale, the divisions between ice point and steam point are 100. Also in the case of Kelvin scale, the divisions on the scale between ice point and steam point are also 100. And in the case of Fahrenheit scale, the divisions between ice and steam point are 180. So the relationship between Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale, so we will say that 1 degree is equal to 9/5 degree on Fahrenheit. So 1 degree on Celsius scale is 9/5 degree on the Fahrenheit scale. Or to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit into Celsius, we use this relation. C/5 is equal to F minus 32/9. So this relationship can be used if the temperature is given in F Fahrenheit to convert it into Celsius, or similarly temperature is given in Celsius to convert that into Fahrenheit. For example, let us say that I am saying Celsius or temperature in degree Celsius is equal to 30 degree Celsius. Then to change this into Fahrenheit, so this will be 30/5, so that will be equal to 6 equal to F minus 32/9. 9 6 are 54. Therefore F will be equal to 54 plus 32. So that will be 80 degree Fahrenheit. So in Fahrenheit it will be 86 degrees, and on our Celsius scale it was 30 degrees Celsius. So in this way we can convert from one form to the another form. Also this 273, the 0 on the Kelvin scale. So the 0 on a Kelvin scale is called as absolute zero. It's called as absolute zero. Means at this temperature, means at this 0 Kelvin, the pressure and volume of gas becomes 0. So on 0 Kelvin, pressure and volume of gas becomes 0. Or we can say that at this temperature, the molecular motion ceases. So the molecular motion will become 0. So the molecules will stop. So therefore we will say that there is no negative temperature on the Kelvin scale. So no negative temperature, because the temperature below this are not possible. So no negative temperature on Kelvin scale, on Kelvin scale. Or we can also say that now, so 0 Kelvin is equal to minus 273 degree Celsius. So 0 Kelvin is equal to minus 273 degree Celsius on the Celsius scale. So that's all for today. We will talk about some remaining things in our next topic.